Hi there and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's dive into today's top stories. Arsenal handed Boost as a Premier League club close in on deal for £35 million star. Edin Nketiah is getting closer to the exit door at Arsenal, with Nottingham Forest close to agreeing a fee for the striker. According to the Athletic's David Ornstein, Arsenal started the request for a first Premier League title in over 20 years with a 2-0 win over Wolves at the Emirates last weekend, but it's been a quiet summer in the transfer market. The Gunners have signed Riccardo Calafiori from Bologna, whilst they are thought to be closing in on a deal for Real Sociedad midfielder Mikel Marino. Arsenal have been looking to move a number of players on this summer, and whilst Emil Smith-Rowe has departed for Fulham, the likes of Aaron Ramsdale and Nketiah are still at the club. Nketiah saw a move to League One outfit Marseille fall through after the French side weren't prepared to meet Arsenal's asking price, whilst an opening bid of £25 million from Forest was also rejected. However, Ornstein has now reported the clubs are close to agreeing a fee for the 25-year-old, whilst Forest are also making progress on personal terms. He took to X and said the following: exclusive, Nottingham Forest close to agreeing fee with Arsenal for Edin Nketiah. Nottingham also progressed talks over 25-year-old's personal terms, top striker candidate. Negotiations continue after £25 million offer rejected. Arsenal want more towards £30 to £35 million, according to The Athletic. The report adds that Crystal Palace have maintained a long-term interest in Nketiah and have spoken to Arsenal, but aren't as far down the road as Forest are in terms of completing a deal. Nketiah, who came through the ranks at Arsenal and has been capped once by England, was an unused substitute for the win against Wolves, and it appears he could have made his final appearance for the club. Despite graduating to the first team, Nketiah has struggled to hold down a regular place in the side and has scored 38 goals in 168 appearances. If he joins Forest, he will likely be the first choice striker. Arsenal rejecting loan offers for star, two Premier League clubs eyeing potential transfer. Arsenal have interest in goalkeeper Aaron Ramsdale, but have so far been rejecting loan offers for the England international, according to Fabrizio Romano. Wolves and Bournemouth both seem keen on Ramsdale, but the Gunners only want to let the keeper go on a permanent deal, according to Romano, as he spoke exclusively to CaughtOffside for his latest column for the Daily Briefing. Ramsdale was first choice for Arsenal not that long ago, but it quickly became clear last season that David Raya had been signed to replace him as number one in Mikel Arteta's side. It now makes sense that Ramsdale's future lies away from the Emirates Stadium, though it remains to be seen precisely how this saga will end, as there are two Premier League clubs interested, but with Arsenal holding out on letting the player go on their preferred terms. Romano said the following: Aaron Ramsdale also remains one to watch before the end of the summer. To be clear, Arsenal want a permanent sale for Ramsdale. They keep rejecting loan possibilities. Wolves and also Bournemouth are interested. Both are attentive to the situation, but neither club are submitting a permanent transfer proposal so far. My expectation is still for Ramsdale to leave Arsenal in any case. It's surely only a matter of time before Ramsdale makes his way out of Arsenal, but it will be interesting to see what happens first. Clubs decide to try signing the 26-year-old permanently, or Arsenal decide to relax their own stance and let him leave on an initial loan. Romano also covered other major Arsenal topics in his column, suggesting Mikel Marino's move to North London is getting closer, while Edin Nketiah is on the agenda of Nottingham Forest, though he is not the only striker they like. Arsenal agree permanent transfer of homegrown player to Spanish club. Arsenal have reportedly agreed to sell Charlie Patino to Deportivo La Corona in a permanent transfer worth £1 million. That's according to Daily Mirror journalist Ryan Taylor, who has posted on X formerly Twitter, to state that it now looks like Patino is closing in on an exit from the Gunners, with the Spanish side looking to be his next destination. It hasn't worked out that way for Patino, who has perhaps failed to make much of an impression in previous loan spells, leading to him now being sold permanently. Some Arsenal fans will be disappointed that the 20-year-old couldn't live up to the potential he showed when he was first coming through, but not every academy player can be as big a success story as the likes of Bukayo Saka. Arsenal have also let former academy graduates like Emil Smith-Rowe leave in recent times, and one imagines will also see Reece Nelson and Edin Nketiah heading out of the Emirates Stadium before too long. Arsenal may have to trigger €30 million release clause for a transfer to replace fan favourite. Arsenal are reportedly eyeing up a potential transfer swoop for Espanyol goalkeeper Juan Garcia as their replacement for Aaron Ramsdale. The 23-year-old Spanish shot-stopper looks like a decent talent who could be a strong backup option behind David Raya, though it seems he won't come cheap. Espanyol have a €30 million release clause for Garcia, and it seems Arsenal would have to pay that in order to get a deal done. According to Relevo, that seems like a lot to pay for a backup, especially as it's not yet clear if the Gunners will even be able to secure a fee for Ramsdale. As Fabrizio Romano told CaughtOffside earlier for his daily briefing column, Arsenal have so far rejected loan offers for Ramsdale as they hope to hold out for a permanent sale. Romano reported that Ramsdale is wanted by Wolves and Bournemouth, so it will be interesting to see if these clubs improve their offers for the England international. If not, one imagines Arsenal may have to abandon their pursuit of Garcia unless Espanyol are willing to significantly lower their demands. Arsenal have had a large turnover of goalkeepers under Mikel Arteta, with Ramsdale initially coming in to replace Bernd Leno, but not lasting that long before Raya replaced him, while there has also been the arrival and departure of backup keeper Matt Turner. Arsenal target misses a training with current club as Gunners transfer just matter of time. Mikel Marino has reportedly missed the training with Real Sociedad as it's felt that a transfer to Arsenal is getting closer and can now be considered just a matter of time. That's according to transfer news specialist Fabrizio Romano via his official account on X, formerly Twitter, with the Italian journalist providing an update on what has been a long-running saga this summer. Marino has been linked with Arsenal for some time now, having shone in La Liga whilst also catching the eye with Spain as they won Euro 2024 earlier this summer. The 28-year-old looks like he should be a fine fit for Mikel Arteta's style of play, with Charles Watts also discussing this deal in his recent exclusive daily briefing column. He said the following: "This could be the week that the Mikel Marino deal finally takes a big step forward. It's always just been about the two clubs agreeing on a deal that works for the pair of them. Sociedad are obviously losing a major player in Marino, and although there has always been an acceptance at the club that he would be allowed to go this summer due to his contract status, they were never just going to give him away. His performances for Spain at the Euros also strengthened their position a bit, so they have been holding out to get a fee and a deal structure that works for them, and that has obviously seen things drag on a bit longer than Arsenal and certainly Mikel Arteta would have wanted. There is no doubt Arteta would have liked to have Merino on board earlier than this, but he has had to remain patient while discussions between the clubs have remained ongoing. But the deal now looks close, and I expect things to move forward this week ahead of Saturday's trip to Aston Villa. I can't say yet what the final fee will end up being, but it looks like being around the £30 million mark, which in today's market does not seem excessive. It looks like being a good deal for Arsenal." Lineker latest pounded to recommend Tony to Arsenal. Gary Lineker is the latest pounded to argue that it should be a no-brainer for Arsenal to sign Ivan Toney this summer. The striker has been on the radar of the Gunners and several top European clubs for months, with Tony's contract at Brentford set to expire at the end of the season. The Bees are eager to sell him now rather than risk losing him for a free next year. Although several clubs are showing serious interest, Arsenal does not appear to be among them, as Mikel Arteta's side seems to be focusing on other targets. It looks like Arsenal may not invest in a new striker during this transfer window, but Linker believes they should, with Tony being a specific recommendation. Speaking on the Rest is Football podcast, Linker said, I like Ivan Tony a lot. I think he is super talented and gives you a completely different from what else they've got. He is a real threat and technically a really good footballer, so I think he would fit in at Arsenal. Once you are at the stage where a player is left out, the writing does appear to be on the wall. Tony is one of the best strikers available on the market, and it's surprising that we are not pushing to sign him. However, it seems our manager does not fancy him so much, and we trust his judgment on the striker. I will be uploading daily Arsenal news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.